We've arrived at the deadline where almost all NBA players who have recently signed contracts become eligible to be traded, which means that NBA trade season very well may be upon us soon. This season has been one of the more balanced runs to this point in recent memory, because looking at the standings, you see damn near half the league hovering close to the 500 mark, either slightly above it or slightly below it. Obviously, we love parity in the NBA, but the teams themselves are trying to separate themselves, which is where trades come in. Bleacher Report has once again published an article tackling this very topic, where they proposed 4 trades in particular to help these contending teams try to separate themselves. As always, I'll be going through each one, analyzing whether or not the deal is realistic, why or why not each team would want to do the trade, and who benefits the most from it if it were to actually happen. Before we start though, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. As the new NBA season continues on, PrizePicks is the best and easiest way to play daily fantasy to stay engaged on all of the excitement. With the holiday season quickly approaching, they are also running a can't-miss promotion called the 12 Days of Picksmas, starting today, Wednesday at midnight, where every night from now until Christmas, they will be revealing a new promotion to take advantage of in order to give back this holiday season. By going down to the link in the description of this video and using promo code reference when you sign up, you also get a deposit match bonus of up to $100 for a gift from the team to begin your Picksmas journey. Check out prizepicks.com/Picksmas nightly to see each promo unwrapped at midnight EST. Once again, thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. The first proposal in the article is between the Golden State Warriors and the Orlando Magic, where the Warriors receive Mo Wagner and Gary Harris in exchange for James Wiseman, Moses Moody, and 2 second-round picks. The premise behind this deal is obviously swapping potential guys for guys who can produce right now, which is a difficult trigger to pull. Giving up on James Wiseman so early would feel like a pretty big loss given what they have invested into him, but at the same time, their season is not going as planned at all right now, and the clock is ticking on their championship window. They clearly want to be able to win as many rings as possible before their veteran core are finished up, but their younger prospects are still a few years away from being reliable on that level, Wiseman included. Moses Moody has also shown flashes as someone who could develop into the prototypical 3-and-D mold, but he too has been decent at best off the bench this season, with a lot of development still needed. Meanwhile, in Orlando, Gary Harris has very quietly rediscovered his form as a plug-and-play guard who scores efficiently and defends hard. The reason why it's been so quiet is because he has struggled a bit with injuries, along with the fact that he's one of the few veterans left on a young Magic team where the youth get most of the attention. But because of the state of the Magic right now in their rebuild, Harris's name will definitely be floated out onto the trade market for a contender to come scoop him up. He's scoring about 11 points per game, shooting the ball 39% from 3 combined this year and last year. Does this trade make the Warriors better right now? Yeah, it probably does, but is the price tag they're paying here for Gary Harris worth it? Probably not. Wiseman and Moody may still need some development, but this offer is disrespectful to their value, even if it benefits the team in the short term. The next proposal in the article is between the Dallas Mavericks and the Chicago Bulls, where the Mavericks receive Zach Lavine and Kobe White in exchange for Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Reggie Bullock, Davis Bertans, and a first-round pick. The general public has been begging the Dallas Mavericks to get Luka Doncic an all-star caliber sidekick throughout his entire career, and it still has yet to happen. After Jalen Brunson left for New York this offseason, we're now seeing how necessary help is more than ever before, as Luka is scoring a career-high 33 points per game, but yet the Mavericks are in just 9th place in the Western Conference standings. Luka single-handedly is good enough to lead the way for a top 10 ranked offense, as the team does currently rank at this point in time. In order to legitimately compete for a title, though, you can't realistically rely on him to do everything on that big of a stage. stage. This trade, in theory, accomplishes exactly that, as Zach Lavine is a multiple-time All-Star scoring talent. The reason why the trade doesn't really intrigue me like it maybe would have a few years ago, though, is because something is clearly up with Zach Lavine right now. Lavine's production has been noticeably down ever since he came back from the injury that he suffered last season, and he doesn't quite have the explosiveness that he once had anymore either. His efficiency is down, his scoring is down, and his decision-making has been a bit more questionable lately. If the Mavericks are going to go out and get the guy they believe can help Luka moving forward, I do not believe it should be someone who has a lingering injury trending in the wrong direction, especially since Lavine also just signed a massive long-term contract extension. In my opinion, they should save their assets in order to pounce on a better opportunity when it presents itself. The next proposal in the article is between the Atlanta Hawks and the Detroit Pistons, where the Hawks receive Bojan Bogdanovic, Corey Joseph, and 2 second-round picks in exchange for John Collins. The Hawks were very aggressive this summer by acquiring DeJounte Murray via a trade, and with that move, they clearly let everyone know that they were planning on getting back to the conference finals. Their reality so far, however, has been a 500 team playing some incredibly mediocre basketball. They gave up a lot in order to get DeJounte paired up with Trae Young, but unfortunately the payoff hasn't quite been worthwhile yet. They're missing the scoring punch of players like Kevin Huerter and Danilo Gallinari. Additionally, John Collins has reportedly wanted out for a while, which is why his name continues to pop up in these trade rumors. I like the fit of Bojan Bogdanovic a lot on the Hawks, as he would be able to seamlessly step into the role left behind by guys like Huerter and Gallinari that I just mentioned as a sharpshooter, with terrific movement and spot-up ability, as he's currently giving the Pistons an efficient 21 points per game. John Collins may be a better player in a vacuum, but Bogdanovic is more of what the Hawks need. Meanwhile, in Detroit, Collins would be a valuable addition to help grow the future alongside youngsters Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. I think if the Pistons came calling with an offer like this, the Hawks would struggle to say no, and I personally think they should say yes to it. And finally, the last proposal in the article is between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Phoenix Suns, and in it the 76ers receive Jay Crowder in exchange for Matisse Thybulle, George Niang, and Jaden Springer. It's not the biggest story in the world, but Jay Crowder is still holding out in Phoenix, waiting to be traded, and the hope is that a team can find a deal soon. Unfortunately for the Suns, though, this is definitely not that deal. If Jay Crowder were a few years younger, maybe this would be viable, but in the current moment, his value is not worth nearly this much. For one, Crowder's skill set clashes with PJ Tucker, who the Sixers have already committed to for the next few years. Secondly, while Matisse Thybulle is definitely a flawed offensive player, his unique defensive skill set is someone able to generate turnovers at a league-leading rate, which would probably be worth more on the open market alone, let alone in a package. Then on top of that, George Niang is probably the Sixers' best pure shooter of the basketball and has created a pretty solid rapport with James Harden and Joel Embiid, so throwing him into the trade makes even more of an overpay. Jay Crowder can definitely still help a team looking to win, but I don't think he's a very good fit in Philadelphia at all. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about these trade offers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.